Okay, so tell me how you have developed or challenged or reinforced forms of conventions of real media products.
One way we challenged it was by who our character is. So in a typical thriller film, is usually a middle-aged man who plays a serial killer. However, in our title sequence, it's a young teenage girl. And also, it's usually, in a thriller film, it's usually the protagonist that's portrayed as brave and able to defeat the antagonist and powerful. However, in this case, in our title sequence, that our main character, she's, you know, portrayed as stronger, powerful, and she's the killer. To develop the conventions, we use music. Now, music is very essential in thriller films, so it's used to, you know, create a mysterious atmosphere. It, you know, builds up the tension. Yeah, it just, you know, creates suspense, which we did for our title sequence. I can also say that through camera shots, we also developed the conventions of thriller films. So, for example, we use close-ups, in certain scenes. Close-ups in thriller films just, you know, gives us, you know, what the character is doing in more detail, and yeah, so we can just get a clear picture of what's happening. And yeah, another shot that's also used in thriller films is point of view. So basically, when we see what the character sees, and like that kind of builds curiosity, because like we want to know like what's, you know, out there. Why are they looking at, you know, that particular place or that particular building? Like it just makes us, you know, dig into their you know, emotions, feelings, and thoughts.
So what other conventions did you follow? What other conventions did you reinforce in your thriller?
Props, and like how blood was like the main thing that we used for our fantasy. Because blood in thriller films is obviously symbolises danger, violence, death, and murder, and like who the killer is and who the first victim is, and, you know, who's guilty and who's not.
So how did you represent then particular social groups in your opening sequence?
We represented social groups through the use of our characters. So, for example, Ivy Blue, she is a character who suffers from mental illness, and it's proved when she steps over the dead body, and when she has blood on her hand but she doesn't react to it. So she basically represents the people who suffer mental illness in society, and like she presented as an isolated and lonely character, as she has someone to talk to and she doesn't really speak much. So that kind of links to how people with mental illnesses are treated, and how they're, you know, pushed like away from society, and how they're isolated. And the second character, the dead character, although she's seen lying dead, she represents the blingers. So that social group is, you know, free in like their choice of clothing. They're comfortable in what they wear. So that's what the dead character shows. The extra character who appears before the bathroom scene and inside the bathroom scene, she represents the ghetto goths who are known for wearing all black, and she's wearing all black. So she represents she basically brings a dark side to the title sequence, and she is also portrayed as an isolated character. So in society today, people don't really understand Gothics, so how she appears, she allows the audience to question like, why is she there? Like, you know, like they don't really understand why she's there. They can have like a few guesses, but they don't like actually understand why she's there. So that kind of represents how, you know, people in society see like goths, like you know, they'll question why do they wear all black, why are they so isolated, or yeah.
What kind of media institution would distribute your product?
Well, I'd say Vertigo Films, which is a British film company that, you know, produces and distributes film. They are well known for producing 4 films a year. So I feel that our film would be the production and distribution of our film would be quicker if they was to, you know, work with us. I say for social media, I think Facebook and Twitter is most likely to promote our film, because like those two keep us up to date with like new music, new film, new TV, like and you know, we're always aware and of the updates. Empire magazines, they are well known for promoting new films. Will help us get more viewers.
So who would be the audience for your media product?
The audience for my media product would be teenagers from age 15 to 17, because there are certain scenes that are unsuitable for younger viewers. For example, there are scenes where there's blood, so that's basically the bathroom scene and the bedroom scene. Blood symbolises danger and violence, which is a bit, you know, scary for children. And our main character, is a young serial killer. So, like younger viewers from like 15 and below, they might feel influenced by her violent act when it's just a film, whilst teenagers from 15 and over are mature enough to understand that she's just playing a role and it's just a film. So.
Okay, so but why would those teenagers be interested in your film? Because you've talked a lot about why it's not suitable for younger children, but why would teenagers of 15 to 19 be interested in your film?
I think they'll be interested because like the storyline is kind of I say there's a bit of a twist in our media product, because the young serial killer is the antagonist, when usually the antagonist is you know, being defeated by the protagonist, but she's not at this point, and it gets a bit, and it creates more mystery when the extra character appears in the bathroom scene.
So how did you attract your audience?
I'd say that we attracted our audience through our characters, because ID Blue, who's the main character, she does things in the title sequence that catches the audience's attention and makes them question why she does those things. So, for example, in the stairs scene, she walks up the stairs and steps over a dead body. She doesn't do anything about it, she just steps over and leaves it there. So it just makes them question why, like, she left it there. Isn't she going to move it or anything? And also for like the bedroom scene and the bathroom scene, she's seen with like blood on her hands, but she doesn't acknowledge it, she doesn't really pay attention to it or react to it. So that does emphasize her braveness, but like it's kind of like it makes her look unusual. For the dead body lying down, she just attracts the audience by like what she wears, because although she's seen lying on the floor dead, like she's wearing colourful clothing, so that kind of attracts the audience, and that kind of like reflects her personality. But you know, even though she's dead. And for the extra character that appears before the bathroom scene and inside the bathroom scene, she, like the way I guess it's the way she appears as well, because and then when she does appear, it kind of raise questions for the audience. So they might wonder like, why is she there? Could she be the real killer? Could she be a ghost or a spirit or something? Another way we attracted the audience is location. Usually in thriller films, like the location is just straightforward, so it's, you know, filmed at a haunted house. But for us, we the first shot is a establishing shot of a quiet street and obviously a posh, affluent, rich looking house. And I think one shot of the house is a way of fooling the audience. So it's making them believe that it's just going to be a normal film until we get to the first shot where where it was a bit dark. And yeah, and for props, I'd say that the bandages on her foot where she walks up the stairs makes the audience question, like, did she self-harm herself? Is this got to do with her mental disorder?
What about surveys? Because you spoke a lot to your audience. How did that help you to attract them? What did you learn from some of the surveys that you did?
Well, the questions that we asked, we did give different options. Most of our answers were positive, because a lot of people said that they did enjoy stuff like the music, the storyline, the characters.
So tell me what you've learned about technologies from creating your media product.
Well, okay, I'm gonna start with Blogger. Blogger, basically a website that we use throughout the course of the year. So this is where I did all my research, my planning, and I just recorded all the tasks that I did, and the tasks that I was given. I learned basic skills like uploading pictures, uploading videos, presentations through SlideShare. I also learned, I gathered information. All the information I gathered was from IMDb, which is a very useful website to give you more details about different films. And YouTube was very useful, and it helped me with my evidence of my research and all my tasks. And also Art of the Title is another website which helped me to dig deeper into it basically helped me with my analysis with how titles appear with in title sequences, and the order and their font. I can also say that camera was another thing that I learned how to use in the year. I learned skills, basic skills like when to pressing the button to record, obviously, making sure that the camera's focused. So to make the camera focus, you have to rotate the lens clockwise for it to focus properly. And you also, for zooming in, you have to, it's all about your camera movement, how you move the camera.
What about Adobe? Because you used that for editing, didn't you?
Yeah, editing was basically my role for our title sequence. So yeah, so for editing, I learned it in our previous task earlier on in the year, the preliminary task, and this helped me to develop my skills in editing. So for editing, I use Adobe Premiere. And so I understood how the process worked. I learned how to lighten some scenes, darken some scenes, chop them, lengthen them, all those basic skills.
Okay, so tell me about how you've developed from your preliminary task to the full product.
Earlier on this year, we were asked to complete a preliminary task. The whole purpose of that task was for us to explore and experiment with different camera shots. The one thing I learned is how to use a camera. So I learned basic skills, which button to press to record or take a picture, how to focus by rotating the lens, and your camera movement if you want to zoom in or zoom out. Another thing I learned, well, I think this is quite important to me. So I think, I learned teamwork is very essential in if you want to complete a task, because the work gets done quickly, and we're successful if everyone has their own roles and responsibilities. Everyone knows what they're doing. One shot that I learned in particular was the 180-degree rule. This was very new to me, and at first I didn't really quite understand it. So it took us 3 lessons for us to get it right. So that allowed me to understand that to get a perfect shot, to get a good shot, you have to keep going. You have to take many takes until you get that perfect shot. Also, after completing the preliminary task, we needed to edit it on Adobe Premiere. So this was good practice for me because one of my roles for the title sequence was editing. So I was able to learn basic skills like cutting, lengthening, darkening and lightening certain scenes. I was also able to make certain scenes for our final draft choppy, so that created, you know, more of an intensity, and it just reflected the mentality of the main character, Ivy Blue. I'd say that for both of our titles sequence, there has been a massive improvement. For our first draft, there was no music, no title, no voices at all. So in the second draft we added those. The title of the title sequence of the film is called Raised by Voices. So in order to emphasize that and reinforce it, we needed to add some whispering voices saying time's running out, quickly hide the body, because without it wouldn't, you know, there'll be no point of having that title. And yeah, I'll teach. Well, for our first draft, there were certain shots that were unclear. For example, the establishing shot of the house at the beginning of the scene. We first shot like the streets, but we weren't clear on like which house and which door like that we're filming in. So our teachers gave us feedback and told us that we needed to just focus on one house, and we were able to, you know, add music to create tension and mystery for our title sequence.